This is going to be Sethekk Halls as a Blood Death Knight. Back on this character, back in this dungeon. We saw this not too long ago when I was on my rogue, because I found that run real interesting. So let's see it from the tank perspective. This is one that puts the quest givers way too close to the first enemies. So the dungeon usually starts like this when I'm not sure everybody is prepared. They have just clicked the button that says, okay, I am ready to join this dungeon group. So ideally, as soon as everybody arrives in the dungeon, they should be, here and ready to go. But that's not necessarily true. Sometimes people like to zone in and then just zone out. Teleport to the dungeon and, go get a drink or go to the bathroom or something. They want to keep their place in the queue, but have something else that's important for them to do. I hear druid noises. Okay, got a restoration druid healing me. I see elemental shaman and two other somethings. What are they? A mage and a warlock. Alright. Two sides of the same coin, sorta. Wait, this is the wrong way. I turned right when I should have turned left. Whoops. Okay, that's fine though. Those are close enough that it's probably worth killing them. But yeah, I needed to turn left there. Why did that bird go toward the mage instead of me? Is this an arcane mage pulling all the threat off of me? What kind of mage is this? Let's watch for the color of the... Yeah, that's an arcane mage. Okay, got it. I understand now. Everything is explained. Time lost controller, right. Danger of you is the charming totem. I didn't see one there. If you leave them alive for too long, they summon a charming totem, which, if not killed very quickly, is going to mind control one of your party members until it gets killed. I have seen some pretty spectacular things happen when people don't know to kill the charming totem. I had one run in here where, yeah, there's the charming totem. Wait, maybe it'll happen here. I forget. Probably not this run. Anyway, there was one run here where a time lost controller got a charming totem off. I think this was on my warrior, probably. It chose me as its charm target. And I put a skull on it, I told people to kill the charming totem, and yet they killed everything else first. While my troll was thunderclapping them and devastating them and shield slamming them the entire time. It was pretty funny. Maybe I should have shown that run instead. I think that had some other problems that made it non-ideal for showing, but, it had that one funny moment in it. Right, so routing through here is pretty linear. There was that one spot where I started turning right just because I didn't look at my minimap at first to go the right way. That room does actually have a branching path on it. We'll be returning through there after the dungeon to turn in quests. You can teleport out and skip that part. What am I doing? I was silenced and I couldn't do something. I wonder if my druid's also silenced here. There's a charming totem. Oh, okay, somebody was mind-controlled. It is not the most obvious thing when it's up. It doesn't warn you when it appears. You just kind of have to totem. Yeah, okay. Shaman saw it. Some of the rest of us did not quite so quickly. Yeah, you gotta be watching for that. Know that the time lost controller is the dangerous target, and notice specifically when they summon the charming totem. It takes active effort to deal with it. Oh man, this room got messy. Somebody, might have been me, pulled in some extra dudes. Charming totem. Okay, it's chosen me as the target. I had it targeted, so I put a skull on it. Somebody died. Okay, so we get to see a little bit of the mess here. This is not atypical for this place. Since I did this run, this was I think my first tank run here. Since I did this, I learned to better control things. And, really super focus the time lost controller, use stuns. I do have Asphyxiate on this character that I could be using on it. Maybe I have already and didn't notice. But but yeah, like, it's real important. And that's one of 3 real important mechanics in here that tend to catch most people off guard, it seems. Fairy Fire, that's an old ability druids used to have. Not anymore. I remember back when I played a Guardian Druid in the Cataclysm days, when I had one of those there. Sorry, I just got lost in thought thinking about back then. Anyway, yeah, so instead of Moonfire, she would cast Fairy Fire as her, like, ranged pay attention to me button. But Fairy Fire's gone. Darker Sith, yeah, still doesn't really do anything. Summon some elementals. Cast some lightning spells. No big deal. Just a small lump in the road to get to the rest of the dungeon. Death and Decay does a decent job at picking up those elementals. Blood Boil does too. I had a little bit more trouble keeping control over them on one character or another. Probably my Brewmaster, because I only get to Keg Smash and Fire Breath every so often. And those times don't always line up with when he decides to summon his elementals. So yeah, like, a lot of differentiation between tank classes seems to be defined by how often I can press an ability that will hit everybody around. Druid is the best at this because Swipe is always available. It costs nothing, it hits everybody, it's amazing. Paladin's decent. Hammer of the Righteous, or Shield of the Righteous, or Consecration will usually be up in some way or another. Death Knight's very similar. Death and Decay has pretty good uptime. Blood Boil has pretty good uptime. Heart Strike hits multiple targets. Warrior feels a little like Brewmaster, because Thunderclap, you know, once every 4 global cooldowns, you're gonna get a Thunderclap. Whoa, what's going on here? We got too many. Pressing Icebound Fortitude, pressing Vampiric Blood. Things got a little out of control. Why did we get more than I expected there? I got, like, knocked back by something, right, because the Cobalt Serpent does a wing buffet that knocks you back, I think. Did I get knocked into this group, or did somebody else do it? Maybe somebody else got buffeted. Anyway, yeah, so this was a little messier than I remembered. Again, yeah, still figuring out how to fully control this. This was not an immaculately polished run. Maintaining some of the rough edges here. Right, yeah, so Warrior. Thunderclap only once every 4 actions. Feels fairly similar to Keg Smash. I think Keg Smash is a little bit more frequent. Revenge feels very much like Heart Strike. It hits like 3 or 4 targets or something in front of me. What's the other one? There's another tank, right? Brewmaster, Blood, Guardian, Protection. Well, I guess there's Vengeance, but I haven't gotten to that yet. Okay, so that's all of them. I guess I'll make a Demon Hunter when I get to the level 100 dungeons, just to see how it differs. I'll probably make a Night Elf. Yeah, so that'll give a chance to see the Alliance side of things a little bit, maybe. Maybe, I don't know. We haven't gotten there yet. Don't have to think about that yet. Not for another 20 levels or so. This Druid's doing pretty well. Let's see, I'm playing a Death Knight right now, so yeah, it's just the Druid and Brewmaster combination that tends to do so poorly. Druid and Death Knight's fine, you know. Druid and anything else is mostly fine. Brewmaster and anything else is mostly fine. It's just that particular combination I've seen go wrong more often than not. That's not true, it's not more often than not, but more often than other combinations of tank and healer type. Okay, ghosts, right. So, Sethekk Oracle, is that the one that spawns the ghosts? Yeah, I got stunned right in ghost range there. That was pretty bad. Somebody died. Oh, okay, I see. Hey, Druid, I can res, so don't pop. Alright, so I just skipped some stuff there as the Druid ran back, having released their spirits, because they died to the ghosts. Yeah, so anyway, right. Sethekk Prophet here. Summons Ghost when killed, and the way... Oh, and also cast Sphere, yeah. The way I try to deal with that as the tank is to immediately move away from their location as soon as they die. Be very aware of the moment when a Sethekk Prophet dies, and move quick. Got a chatty shaman here. Has lots of stuff to say. That's sometimes nice. I prefer silence, but it's fine. Oh! Druid turned into a... Okay, so I caught a glimpse of him. It's a male Tauren. So, turned into a bear for a moment there. That was funny. Running around all over the place when being hit by things isn't super great. I feel like he's feeling a little bit... Not necessarily overwhelmed here, but like not super prepared for this dungeon. Yeah, I see other players do this too sometimes. Like, the correct action when you have threats and don't want it is to stand at your tank's location and hold still. Let me target it, bring it into my cleaves and area of effect attacks, anything that I'm going to be doing. But yeah, just like running all over the room, especially running directly away from my location is what's going to make it the hardest for me to pick up. Some people know what to do. A lot of people know what to do. Every once in a while I get somebody just running things all over. I had 2 dungeons in a row not long ago on the same character. I think these were different other characters that I had gotten, but 2 arcane mages who had a habit of running right into the middle of everything I was trying to control. Right, running away from a ghost. And hitting their arcane explosion button or whatever it is, pulling all the threat off of me. He turned into a bear again. Yeah, he's letting himself get hit by the ghosts. He's not used to dealing with these. I'm not giving him any instruction in it or something, I'm just letting him learn by doing. Anyway, yeah, so Arcane Mage, like to stand right where I was tanking, hit their arcane explosion button, and like jump all around, you know, jump left, jump right, jump back, jump forward, just like move everything around, making it real hard for me to target the nameplate to use my taunt button. So... if you want to make your tank's job easy, please don't do that, you know? It's fine. Just, well, if you do it, be ready to have threat for a bit longer than if you do it differently, I guess. Is what I would say to those players if any of them were listening, but I'm sure they're not. Technically, I guess that's not such a big problem for me. It's more a problem for them, you know. They're gonna die. I got away with the mining that, then! Oh, that's funny. I was just about to get interrupted, but I got the adamantite. I try to find a moment where I can mine something or pick a flower, because most of the characters I play have herbalism and mining as their professions, just so I can gather stuff for the few characters with production professions I have. Try to find a moment to gather those things that doesn't get in the way of the flow of the dungeon. Sometimes I skip them if they're too far out of the way, but yeah, I like that moment that I picked. I see this ancient lichen here that I want to pick, so I'm probably going to try to end this battle right next to it so I can pick it and not disrupt the flow too much. Or maybe I'm not paying attention to it. I'm probably thinking more about that group over there and moving away from this prophet as soon as it dies. Right now. Another one had already died. Okay. Just now I missed that. Maybe I was paying attention to it then. Oh yeah. 4 of 20, getting hit by the ghosts. I can see it happening. By the way, the Sethekk Talon Lords here are Paladin equivalents, and that thing that's stunning me is called Talon of Justice. It's pretty good. Yeah, okay, skipping the Ancient Lycan, I guess. That's fine. Well, you got in trouble with some ghosts. That's unfortunate. This was about how I, that Warlock just used the Soulstone on himself. Oops. That's probably not intentional. Okay, there we go. Shaman got Ancestral Spirit off. Anyway, yeah, this was about how it was for me when I healed this dungeon on Farron. So, you know, I'm familiar with this experience. Again, I'm just letting him learn by experiencing what this is like. He'll figure out to move away from the ghosts eventually. It's his problem. Nothing I can do about it. I don't want to interrupt his learning experience. He's got to see what it's like to be hit by a ghost. Actually feel it. Anyway, yeah, so Talon King Icus. Always fun. Casts Polymorph, yes. Has a mana shield when he gets to 10% health, so he's going to last a lot longer, yes. But the obvious main feature of this fight is his Arcane Explosion. Shaman's come in with some instructions there. Probably not a bad idea. So he chose my location as the one to teleport to. A lot of people, yeah, 3 people in the party. Everybody who didn't already know did not parse those instructions quickly enough to do anything about them. Alright, lost a healer. That's unfortunate. Got healer back. How did that happen? Soulstone was... Now, hold up. Shaman does not have a combat resurrection spell. Our Warlock would if he hadn't just used the Soulstone on himself. It would have been on cooldown. How did this Druid pop back up? Maybe a Soulstone had already been on him. The cooldown came back up and the Warlock also Soulstoned him. But isn't it limit 1? I thought that would cancel the Soulstone effect on the Druid if that had happened. Alright, so I got a little puzzle to solve here if I want to watch over this again. How did that Druid pop back up? We don't have a Death Knight in the party to raise ally. We don't have another Druid to rebirth. Yeah, so anyway, you can go back through this room to get to the entrance. And it's just right here. You can also teleport out and back to skip these. For some reason, I know it's arbitrary. I like to teleport out and hold a stone, but I like to run back in this dungeon. I don't know. It's fun. I like fighting these, I guess. And you gotta run through part of this dungeon anyway to get... No, I'm thinking of a different one with a quest in the middle. No, I'm not. Am I? Eyes of Desire. Yeah, Eyes of Desire. That's a quest you pick up in the middle of the dungeon. So we go here to the entrance, then run back around to get to the Eyes of Desire turning point. That's how it is. Anyway, yeah, so no Death Knight, no other Druid. Warlock had used a Soulstone. So how did this Druid come back? It's a Druid, not a Shaman. So he didn't have his own reincarnation. Shaman didn't die. He knew how to get away from the Arcane Explosion. And he doesn't have a resurrection spell that's usable in combat. There's an engineer item you can craft that can work as a combat resurrection spell, I think. Maybe someone had one of those? I'm just trying to figure out if there's another possibility here. That's Wraithwalk. It's a cool way to move faster. I can't be in combat when I do it. Why am I going this way? Turn left. Turn left, Falny. Turn left, Falny. Is it closer this way? I thought I wanted to turn left. I think I might be taking the long way now. Yeah, I'm totally taking the long way. Okay, I should have turned left. It's fine. I guess I'm going around this way. Alright. Okay, I figure out I'm going the wrong way. There on the map is Anzu, just south of Talon King Icus's icon. Anzu also shows up in Mana Tombs, and I was looking at that the first time I went through it and trying to figure out what was up with him. Internet says he's a heroic-only boss, and there's some special thing you gotta do to summon him. So, one, we're not in heroic, so that's not even an option. I don't know what the summoning conditions are, so no fighting Anzu here, I guess. After the dungeon, it won't get in anybody's way to pick herbs, so I can do it then. If I walk by any that I didn't take on the way. I don't think this rewards equipment. It's just money, right? Money and experience. Okay, but worth doing for a clean quest log. I think of going for that ancient lichen, but decide not to. Alright, I'll see you next time.